Hello and welcome to the 6th German turn in the combat mission battle for Normandy Goon vs. Goon Let's Play. It's too late to be talking. So we open with some bad news. The tank's still shelling where our tank was, and the machine gun team takes a casualty. Unfortunately, it's their leader. But this turn has a bit of good news to it as well. First and foremost, they're shelling and shooting this part of the hedge, which is not where the Panzerschreck shot from. So yay, they didn't catch where the shot came from. Second bit of bad news is the Shrek takes another shot and misses. Continue getting shelled on the right flank. Good news, the tank hunter team hits this tank. And not only that, but they kill it. As you can see, the crew bailed out here. Now, let me just back up real quick. You can see this lower mortar here, or the easternmost mortar, can see that tank. So they're going to take a shot in a couple seconds. You can also see that our tank finally started shooting on these guys. So maybe it's getting a couple fleeting glances through smoke. And finally we end with another casualty. As the mortar round descends, casualty again over here, so we're down to 2 out of 4. Luckily it's the team leader and the gunner still up, only the riflemen are dead, but it's still unfortunate. You can also see that they have popped new smoke here in hopes to cut our sight lines. However, as you know, we have a pretty good sight line, so we might not even be affected by that. Anyway, let's get some close-ups of the action. Before we do, real quick, clicking through, the tank only makes it to here. That's in part because it had to break through this fence, and in part because the reverse command and the turn ended up taking a sizable chunk of the turn. Anyway, time for close-up. First, let's start with the right flank. There's the shot that takes out the machine gun team leader. I'll zoom ahead a little bit to where our tank fires. Aha! I'm an idiot, and it wasn't our tank firing, it was our infantry gun. So, there. And there's the shot that takes out the second rifleman of that team. So, here's a close-up of their tanks. This one you obviously can't see through the hedge, like here. But you can see they start shooting here. That will probably cost us, however, because they'll see that they're not hitting where they need to be. Here this tank starts to move, the tank hunter team gets up to the hedge, and boom. That's it for that tank. The crew bails immediately. So, at the end of the turn we end with not the best news possible. The tank hunter team is both tired and rattled. They're getting suppressed by that tank. And the Panzerschreck team is kind of cowering. However, the tanks now know where exactly both teams are because this one has at least been spotted, and this one has likely been spotted. If not, they can see where the shot came from and adjust. So we probably better bug out with them. On the bright side, we might be able to move this tank back and just have them hit this tank. Team, not tank, team. Ugh. Here's a close-up of the Shrek miss. Let's try that again. So as you might be able to see there, really neat. One of my favorite things about Combat Mission is that at a distance the shots are modeled as easily visible yellow blob. But when they get close enough, they actually turn into physical models. And you can actually see how very close this shot was, or not that close this shot was. Anyway, that's a neat little touch that I have always loved. And on our left flank, well, nothing. We don't even get an updated sound contact. Now that could mean that these guys are going to sweep through, line up on this hedge, and get a crossfire on us, or it could just mean that they're taking it slow and cautious after we bloodied their nose a little bit. And finally, just to get an overview of our team movements that we've ordered, I'm just going to click through the turn, and you can see the people moving. So, we end with this Shrek team getting into the field, this other tank hunter team advancing. Who else moved? This team's still moving. This team's still moving. This Shrek team almost in position. And as far as up here, they're now up front, and these guys are now up front. So, for the most part, our movements are solid, and we're almost done if they're not. Save this tank. Ha ha, ha ha, ha.